Okay, so I'm going to continue on looking at a series of video podcasts discussing some of the structures of the digestive system. And this one in particular, we want to discuss primarily the colon, and I will discuss structures later on in the small intestine. Some of the things I do want to cover on this model first, however, is that we can see a peritoneal structure here on the more superficial surface. It would come down. If we would have attached a stomach to this, you would see the stomach just above it, and coming off of there, the greater omentum. The greater omentum is a peritoneal, somewhat ligamentous type structure here, part of the mesentery, part of our peritoneum. Here we have removed it to expose the colon. Here it continues on here, down and around. And the colon, you will note a few structures on the colon, these deep grooves that come in there that form these things called haustra, a single haustra. There are 4 colon regions that we want to discuss, and just to make sure we understand how this particular thing works, we actually start with the colon. We usually begin ourselves, we would have already discussed the structures here of the small intestine and its major regions, and we come down, the small intestine enters into this portion of the colon here at a bag called the cecum. And if we open the cecum up, you will see the cecal valve, the ileocecal valve, a sphincter, in which will control, prevent the backflow of fecal material seen here from bringing backflow into the small intestine. So we enter this blind pocket pouch called the cecum here in the bottom part of the colon, and we run into a region of colon here called the ascending colon. And then we reach a curve here, or a flexure of the colon. Mind ourselves also that this is just sitting, you would have the liver sitting here. So this flexure is called the hepatic flexure. The hepatic flexure of the colon. And once we reach hepatic flexure, we run transversely, continuing on here to the transverse colon. Transverse colon coming over, and to see the other flexure, remind ourselves here's where the spleen will be sitting. Flip it over, and you will find the splenic flexure going down to the descending colon, and then we go into an area where we S-shape that will go up and down called the sigmoid colon. Posteriorly, you will see the mesentery, some of the mesenteric arteries, mesentery. We can see part of the duodenum here. On the bottom of the colon here, you can see the backside of the cecum. Here you will find the vermiform appendix here on the bottom side of the ascending colon, just underneath the cecum. So you would continue on here down to the rectum. And we want to discuss this one more time with a model that will show it all. So this model actually will depict the regions fairly well. Again, we start here. We come from the bottom part of the small intestine in through this pouch to the ileocecal valve, which is a sphincter, into the cecum. We travel up ascending colon, we hit the hepatic flexure, transverse colon, to here is the spleen, the splenic flexure, down descending colon, which will pass through sigmoid colon, which will come here to the rectum, out the anus. And here is the anus coming out here. If we remove part of the transverse colon, you will remember these structures from the video discussing the small intestine. And also we'll see of the portions here of the hepatic and splenic flexure, and some more of the duodenum. And that concludes my video discussing the major structures of our colon. go back along with these and watch the structures of the, here discussing our regions of our small intestine, which you can see on the torso models and on this plaque here. And that concludes my video discussing the colon.